ever watched a movie and thought, I know where that was filmed? Or maybe the setting looks familiar, but you can't quite put your finger on it? Welcome to On Location, the program that aims to find out where, when, how, and who. In this episode, I'll be taking you on a tour of some of the locations used by one of the most successful British film comedy series ever made. Yes, the Carry Ons. I'm here in front of Waddesdon Manor, home to the famous banking family, the Rothschilds. It was built in the late 19th century and played host to such distinguished guests as Queen Victoria. It also played a part in Carry On, Don't Lose Your Head.
Well, there we are, the Chateau Neuf, or as you would call it, number 9.
It's well named. Won't be easy to take.
Not against 20 soldiers. Are those doors the only way in?
Oh, yes.
They look pretty solid to me.
We'll need a ramp.
We passed one in the field.
That was a U.
Oh, never mind about that. I got a better idea. Gunpowder. Come on.
There's only one French chateau in this country, and that is Waddesdon Manor, the Rothschild place. And I hesitated to ask permission to shoot there because it had never been done before. But the man in charge was a brigadier somebody, and I managed to persuade him. And when we'd finished there, although we blew up a false front door in front of his front door, and we had carriages, 4 horses and so on, 4-horse carriages driving round the drive, he was quite happy when we left. It's a wonderful place.
He hasn't got it up here like me, you know.
You stupid great fool! What was that? Citizen Robespierre!
No, it can't be. Just went out.
It wasn't him that went out, you blithering idiot! That was a fingernail! He's done it again!
Then you must be...
Camembert, yes! Now will you believe me, you blithering idiot?
Don't Lose Your Head wasn't the only Carry On film to have a period setting. Producer Peter Rogers realised his magic formula would work just as well for other historical stories, as in the case of Carry On Henry. My old workmate Terry Scott was in that one.
Poor dear woman. Perhaps I could do something to get her down. By way of verbal persuasion, I mean.
Any kind of persuasion from you would get anybody down. No, let us stay there and stew in our own juice.
Her Most Gracious Majesty, Queen Marie.
Good Lord.
It's time to leave the elegant surroundings of Waddesdon Manor and head towards the home of the Carry Ons, Pinewood Studios. But not before we've heard something that may remind you of a fairly successful band.
What's going on in here?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Stop it! Stop it at once! Get off the furniture, you lout! How dare you say all priceless antiques? How dare you spoil beautiful things with your grubby seat marks? It's a disgrace. What's she doing with that harp?
I chose Pinewood because I happened to be here. When Gainsborough closed at Shepherd's Bush, everybody moved here. So I made films here before the Carry Ons. And I've been here ever since. I've been here 50 years.
20 miles west of London is where we find one of the world's most famous film studios. Since 1936, Pinewood has led the way in movie production, from the glamour of the Bond films to the fun and slapstick of the Carry Ons. Peter Rogers, having had the original idea for the Carry Ons, then had to find a director to bring the scripts to life. This crucial job was safely entrusted to Gerald Thomas.
He was a friend of mine because he happened to be my wife's editor on all her films, and I knew he wanted to be a director. So I said to Betty, do you mind losing your editor? And she just said, no, if you're going to make him a director, and that's how it all happened.
This is Pinewood's timber yard, just like any other, you might say, except that in Carry On at Your Convenience, it became W.C. Boggs' Toilet Factory. What do you expect?
Four matching pairs, blue and green wash basins for Carter's, Aberdeen.
Check.
2 Princess Suites, complete with stainless steel fittings for Girlings, London.
Check.
6 white, top-flushing urinals.
Stand up ones.
Is there any other sort?
I only asked.
During the making of Convenience, the Carry On team did manage to escape briefly from Pinewood. Here we see them enjoying Brighton's Palace Pier. It's never been quite the same since. Brighton's West Pier makes an appearance in Carry On Girls. Sadly, my character, Augusta Prodworthy, never left Pinewood, but she did manage to sabotage a beauty contest run by a certain Sydney Fiddler.
Sunray to A. Able. Commence Operation Nobble. Roger, and out.
Peter Rogers always had a clear idea of the kind of location he required for a new Carry On film. But where did he start?
What happens is that you have what they call location wreckies. Usually the production manager and cameraman going around looking for likely locations, and then they report to you and you have a look at them and you say, yes, that's all right.
Just behind me is one of Pinewood's main buildings. In Carry On Camping, it doubled as a rather posh finishing school for girls. Apart from the odd scuffle.
Matron, what can I do for you?
I'm sorry to trouble you, Dr. Soper, but I've been thinking about this camping trip for the girls that have to remain with us during the holidays.
What about it?
Well, I was wondering whether it really was such a good idea.
Perhaps you're forgetting, Matron, it was my idea.
Oh, no, and of course it is. Absolutely a splendid one. But...
But what?
Well, I was wondering whether perhaps they might find it a trifle Spartan.
The process, of course, is that first of all you've got your script, or you've got your idea, then you've got your script and your script writer and your script conferences. Then you've got to budget the script. Then you've got to get the distributors to agree to the budget. And then you get your set designer in and your cameraman and get the sets set up, or see what there is around in the scene dock to see what we can use. Everybody does that. Every art director goes through to see what he can use.
And up, and down, and up, and down, and up, and down. Now really touch those toes, Barbara. And up, and rest. Now, legs astride, arms flinging from side to side. Begin. And fling, and in, and fling, and in. And both arms fling. Now really, let's see those chests come out. And fling and in. And fling and in. And fling. Matron, take them away.
That famous scene was shot in Pinewood's cherry orchard. Barbara's bra was actually attached to a fishing line, which was then yanked off by one of the crew. Well, somebody had to do it.
I remember Barabara Windsor, and she didn't realise the mic was live, cursing me because she was stepping through mud over on the paddock there. And she was so frightened afterwards that I might hear it in rushes, but it became a joke. Well, you would, I mean, there she was ploughing through with great big boots on and a bikini.
That was filmed in a typically English spring. And here we are in summer. In order to create the desired summer effect, the muddy ground was sprayed green. Josh Fiddler, played by Peter Butterworth, was the campsite manager. And here he is, trying to earn an honest living.
Excuse me.
Yes. Can I help you?
Yes, we'd like to camp here. Who do we have to see?
Me. I'm the owner, Josh Fiddler.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Fiddler? Yeah. I'm Boggle. This is Mr. Lugg.
Hello.
You're not members, then?
Do you have to be members?
I'm afraid so. I'm trying to keep this place select, you know. It's not like some of these campsites. It's more what you might call a show place.
We know all about that, don't we?
How much is it to be a member, then?
Pound.
Pound? You all right, then?
Per person.
Each? But there's 4 of us.
Bernie, it's all right, Bernie. We don't want to argue with Mr. Fiddler. 2, 3, 4.
That's correct. Now then, gentlemen, your members' cards.
Thank you. Right, shall we go then?
Yes, any time you want to book in here, just show them.
But we want to come in now.
Now?
Yes.
But you haven't booked, have you?
Booked? Don't tell me you're full up.
Well, I might be able to squeeze you in, but you should have paid the booking fee.
Booking fee? Which is?
£1.
Pound.
Per tent.
2 tents, £2. Now can we come in?
Certainly. As soon as you paid the rent.
Rent?
In advance.
But you've had £6 out of us already.
Bernie, it's all right, Bernie. What about the rent then, Mr. Fiddler?
Well, my usual charge per week.
Yes, yes, which is?
£1.
I know it. Per tent?
Or per person, whichever's the greater.
I don't know if anybody ever told you, but your name certainly suits you.
Thank you.
But we used Windsor a lot. And we used to hire a red bus and kid ourselves it was part of London. And kid the audience too.
In Carry On Loving, Sid Bliss runs the rather dodgy Wedded Bliss marriage bureau.
Won't you sit down, Mr.
Oh, Muffet. Bertram Muffet.
Muffet? Well, we'll have to find you a crumpet to go with that, won't we?
I beg your pardon?
Never mind. Now then, Mr. Muffin.
Muffet.
Muffet, yes. Our charges, and very reasonable they are too, are 2 guineas registration, 2 guineas for the introduction, and 2 guineas when you click.
Click?
Get married. And if you click without getting married, it's 4 guineas, all right?
Oh, yes, that's fine.
Bertram Muffin.
Muffet.
That's it, yes. So we'll just get a few details. Age?
Oh, 17, I think.
17?
Well, I thought the younger she was, the longer she'd last.
No. I want your details, your age.
Oh, 27.
27. And what are you interested in?
Same as most chaps like to do, I suppose.
And that is?
Well, I don't know. I've never done it yet.
You should try it. It's lovely. Now, you see, what I'm trying to do is to find out what you like to do so that I can fix you up with a girl who likes it too.
Using Windsor Station for one of its settings, a shifty Charles Hawtrey is seen here in hot pursuit of an equally shifty Sid James. American Phil Silvers appears as Sergeant Knocker in Follow That Camel. He and the rest of the Carry On lads find themselves in the Foreign Legion.
Colour Sergeant Knocker reporting, sir. Back from patrol. No, sir, thank you, sir. I'll be all right after all. I've just been 5 days without food or water. That's all.
Bring water quickly.
Water? No, thank you, sir. I'll be all right. I must file my report.
Drink, Sergeant.
No, thank you. Oh, you can't. Thank you, sir. Delicious, sir.
Hey, now, Sergeant, if you feel strong enough, your report.
Yes, sir. Well, you see, last Saturday, I got this tip-off there was going to be an attack on Fort Soissonnette. Well, it cost me 20 francs, but I don't mind if I don't get it back. It was worth it, sir.
Sergeant, you will get it back.
Oh, thank you, sir. You're a brick.
We used Canberra sands, and we built the fort down there. Years ago, I made a film here on A stage that had a desert. We filled the stage with sand. You've never seen anything like it. But it took so many lights that the powerhouse said, steady, we haven't got any power left. It took so many lights to light the sand. But that's not why we went to Canberra, because we had to build a fort.
Look, the fort!
I say, sir, are we too late?
The leading role was written for Sid James, but he wasn't available. And that, combined with the fact that J. Arthur Rank had always wanted a more international audience, led to the casting of Phil Silvers, the infamous Sergeant Bilko. I feel a bit of movie trivia coming on. Oh. The longest-serving Carry On member was Kenneth Williams. He was seen in a record 25 films, beating runner-up Joan Sims by only one. Several of the Carry Ons had a medical theme. There was nurse, doctor, and matron. But where did they find the locations for those?
According to your script, you look for somewhere that's appropriate. I mean, if you want a hospital, you can't go to a hospital, so we go to a town hall. Maidenhead Town Hall we use quite often, and outside the studio here.
Sir Bernard.
Yes, what is it, matron?
I would like to apologize for what happened in my room.
Matron, if you're worried that I might be considering disciplinary action, you needn't be. We're all mature adult people, and whatever goes on between you and Dr. Good is no concern of mine, however disgusting it may be.
But nothing goes on. We're just good friends.
I know all about good friends. I had one at school. She was the groundsman's daughter, but she never got off the ground.
That is a very uncalled for remark, Sir Bernard, and I shall expect an apology.
It's not all you're expecting, I shouldn't wonder.
Very well, Sir Bernard. But don't come to me again when you want to prove yourself. I am a woman, not a do-it-yourself kit.
You've probably realised by now that almost every inch of Pinewood has at some time been transformed into the seaside, into a holiday camp, or even perhaps a jungle.
The famous rhododendron walk, I mean, it's a very formal garden, a lot of it, which was useful for Henry. And the club entrance, and by the restaurant, we used for the residents in the Indian scene.
Oh, they wouldn't dare show violence to a missionary.
We had all the rioting and so on outside there.
Pinewood's clubhouse doubled as the British Embassy in Carry On Up the Khyber and was the setting for one of the funniest scenes in the film. Have you ever been to a dinner party quite like this?
Terrible noise. Yes, it's shocking, isn't it? It's not a first-class orchestra. Mind you, they're doing their best. I mean the noise outside. Oh, it's probably the drains again. Major Shorthouse, you really must have that seat.
Yes, sir. How are you enjoying your stay in India, Mr. Belcher?
Marvellous. Can't wait to leave.
Yes, I suppose it has its ups and downs.
The most distant location was Snowdon, which was for Carry On up the Khyber. It was only a one-day shoot, but when the film came out, I had one or two postcards from veterans in the forces who had actually served in the Khyber Pass, and they said they recognized it.
Oi, Bandit Dean, there is a guard. We cannot go through.
Only one man, Stingy.
Oh, one devil in skirts is enough. You know they are invincible.
If we fight, maybe. But there is always bribery.
What have we got to bribe them with?
Don't you know what British soldiers are always looking for abroad?
Yes, but where are we going to get a bint up here?
No. Souvenirs. I'll offer him my weapon if he'll let me go through.
Who goes? Who goes? Oh, what's the word?
There.
Oh, thank you. Who goes there?
I go there. Very good friend.
Oh, advance friend, and give the password.
With pleasure, sir. What is password, please?
Pomegranate.
Very good. Pass, friend.
I took part in 4 carry-ons. The first was Nurse, then there was Carry On Abroad, Carry On Girls, and finally Carry On Columbus. Carry On Nurse, I must have made a great impression because it was about 12 years later that they asked me to be in Carry On Abroad. Now, I really got excited because I thought, what exotic clime are we going to for this? Silly girl. We ended up in the car park at Pinewood. It was very well done. I mean, we had sand imported and we had deck chairs and brollies. There might even been a palm tree. But the weather let us down as usual. It was cold, dull and cloudy. And although the brilliant technicians made it look like a sunny paradise, I couldn't help feeling sorry for the girls in their bikinis who were gradually turning blue. Ooh. I hope I haven't destroyed too many illusions, and I hope you've enjoyed this sneak view of some of the Carry On locations.
A beautiful wine for a beautiful lady.
Well, was that supposed to be a compliment?
Better taste the wine first.
Better watch it, you'll be pinching your bottom next.
Not for me, thank you.
No, don't drink.
No, I tried it once and didn't like it.
Oh. Have a smoke?
I tried it once and didn't like it.
Strange.
Not at all. My daughter is just the same.
Your only child, I presume.
Yeah.
Goodbye.